Hi guys, welcome to the video supplement for the blues. We're going to go over a couple of things, starting with the chords, the pentatonic scale, and the blues scale. First, we want to start with those chords, starting with A7, right? And then D7 and E7. Okay? With these, you want to pay particular attention to using the fingering that I've given you, the 2-3 on the A7, on the 4th string, 2nd string. And when you move to the D7, you know, those two fingers are going to stay about the same, but on different strings, on the 3rd string and 1st string. And then you just add the 1st finger there. And then moving back to the A7, as the sequence shows, and then to the E7. Okay, so you want to just make sure that these two fingers move to here, and then back. And then the 2nd finger, 1st finger sort of move into their position. The reason I use these fingerings is because there's some similarities between the chords, and you want to just make sure that, you know, for ease of transition, that you stick to those fingerings. Okay? So the next thing, you can strum the chords just 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, when you're doing this, you should keep in mind that the blues is a form, okay? And when you play it with other people, you're just going to play it the form over and over and over again until somebody, you know, gets tired, falls asleep, or just says, "I gotta go." And you know, because you're new, you're going to play the chords. We can get into playing the scales and improvising over these chords a little bit later on, but for now, just know that you need to change the chords when it's expected. The other players know the blues and expect that a chord's going to be there. So the toughest thing that most people have is that they can't switch to the chords quick enough. And so what I would suggest, at least in the beginning, is a 3-step process. First, you got to know the chords: A7, D7, E7. Okay, and so that you can look at the fingering and know what you're playing, as well as just being able to memorize the chord. You know, so when you see the name of the chord, instantly your fingers go there. Okay. The way to do this is just to, you know, practice it. You look at it, memorize it, and just play through them. The second step would be to use a metronome and to put it on, say, 40, and play, you know, 1 click per beat. Let me get mine. So I have my metronome here, and 40 beats per minute. I'm going to play 1 note per click. Let's try that and see how it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If that seems like it's a little too fast, you can try another method, and that would be to play on 1 click and then switch on another click, play, say, on the 3rd click, and then sort of just play, switch, play, switch. Hope you can hear that metronome. So here we go. And when you can do that, say at 40, move it up a little bit. Push yourself a little bit so that it gets a little bit faster each time. And when you're playing it at 80, you're back to playing 1 note per click at 40. You can try the 12-bar blues, as I have it written down on the handout. You should try the 12-bar blues, starting off with just quarter notes. So it would go something like this. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, So, the sooner that you can play the 12-bar blues in succession, 12 bars after 12 bars after 12 bars, the sooner you're going to be able to play with other people. Now, you may not be ready to just switch the chord so fast, so you can cheat a little bit. You're not really cheating, you're still playing the chord, it's still sounding, it'll ring in my ears before you get to the next chord. So what I mean is this. 1, 2, 3, 2. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So that'll be easy. So I say. So just to practice the blues, probably what I want to do now is get into playing the 12-bar blues. I'm going to play it so that we're preparing to play against it. And so the next part of this video is going to be all about playing the scales. So now that you're able to play the chords, what you want to do is try to grab that blues style. Now, we've been playing quarter notes. Instead, what we're going to do next is we're going to play eighth notes. And what that is just 2 notes per beat, okay? But in the blues, those 2 notes per beat wouldn't be even like traditional eighth notes. Instead, we're going to swing them, okay? And what we do with that is we make the first one a little bit longer and the second one, of course, shorter. And so it's more like a swing, if you're going back and forth. Check this out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 4 and 1 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 Now notice that when I'm going down, I'm going to strum most of the strings that belong to that chord. When I come up, however, I'm only going to hit the top side, the higher side of the chord. That's just the style. So if you were to do it and to strum all of the strings on the up and down strokes, it would sound like this. And it just doesn't have that sort of feel. The and of the beat, you know, the upbeat, the upstroke, has to have a slightly less accented sound. And so by doing that, you're not hitting the bass strings, and you get that sort of swing feel. Okay, so moving on to the scales that I've given you. We started with the A pentatonic minor. Now, as you might realize, pentatonic, it has its root names in 5 tones. Pentatonic, pentagon, tonic, tone. Okay, so we're there. All right, so to go back to your scale that I gave you. Now we're looking at tablature. You know, just to make sure that you're looking at the tablature the right way. The bottom line is this bottom string. The low sound is low on that staff, and so the numbers indicate the frets that you put your fingers on. We're going to be playing in the 5th position. What that means is that the first finger is responsible for any note that happens on the 5th fret. Fingers 2, 3, and 4 are assigned the next 3 frets and play whatever fret. When that fret comes up, that's the finger that plays it. For example, 5th fret, well, that's going to be the first finger. The 8th fret is going to be the pinky, or the 4th finger. 5, then 7, okay, that would be the 3rd finger. And the scale again is 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8, okay? And while it's written on your page as being just 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8, what I intend for you to do is to play the scale going up and coming back down. And you should just practice this a whole lot, just up and down. You know, it's great for your fingers to get them warmed up first thing in your practice session. You know, to play this scale or you play the major scale that I've given you. You know, either one is going to work, just up and down and up and down. You know, I'm not a big advocate for practicing in front of the TV, but if you're sitting there doing nothing, you might as well just move your fingers around. There's no way to sort of inject this sort of experience into your playing. You just have to play it over and over and over again. And so if you're doing nothing and you want to play, you know, just play the scale up and down. Okay? For the time being, I'm just going to talk about just, you know, the fret positions, just to get your fingers moving. Later on, we'll talk about what these 5 tones are. Incidentally, they have to be A, C, D, E, G. 5 tones, right? A, C, D, E, G. Guess what? A, C. And then further on up, you would have the rest of the notes. So later on, we'll talk about learning those and what they're going to mean relative to just playing over the 12 bar. Now the pentatonic scale is 5 tones. Now we also have another scale that we use a lot, and that would be the blues scale. And as you might guess, it's similar. Now, so really what we've done is we've taken the pentatonic scale and we've added 1 note. And what that note is on the 6th fret, and this would be a D sharp or an E flat. And since we have 6 tones, we don't have a pentatonic scale anymore, of course. And you know, I guess you could call it a hexatonic. But that doesn't sound as cool as the blues scale. Now, you might choose to play, you know, just some straight up blues. With a pentatonic scale. But there's a little bit more color in using that blues note. Let me play for you one of my favorite licks. I happened to be playing this one afternoon, and I was having a blast with it. My stepmother happened to be in the next room, and she came into the doorway, and you know, was this crazy look on her face. She asked me, "Would you please stop playing that sound? Why do you need to do that?" And I was overjoyed that, you know, with just having, you know, the glee of this riff. I was having a great time. She, unfortunately, was not. Too bad for her. So. She just didn't get it. She didn't play an instrument, so, you know, what can you do? Anyway, so what this lick, that incorporates the blues tone. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to know what the blues, when to use, you know, that particular note, if I'm even sounding like the blues? Well, a couple of things that you can do. You can play through your scale. Swinging that rhythm. I think you're going to be surprised to find out that when you get to play the 12-bar blues and you're playing this scale over the top of it, how much sounds pretty good already, you know, without knowing too much about, you know, what the notes and the chords are, or even, you know, listening, you know, to some of the licks that you might hear out there. The best way, you know, to really grab a style is to do a lot of listening. You can listen to some of my favorites. They'd be B.B. King, Freddie King, Albert King, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Gary Moore is a neat guy to listen to. Buddy Guy. You could listen to even Leonard Skinner. They're playing a lot of these, you know, pentatonic licks in a blues style. Rock comes out of the blues, and so by and large, you're going to hear a lot of blues licks come out of rock players too. So I think the next thing that I want to do is probably play through these 12-bar blues. And I'm going to play through it a bunch of times. I'm also going to loop it. The looper that I have here, I can play into it, it'll play it back, and then I can play the blues over the top of it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the blues a couple of times, you're going to be able to play this segment of the video, practice your scales over the top of it. And probably 4 times through would work out pretty well. I think you'll have plenty of things to listen to and to work it out. You can always, sort of play the video back a number of times. So why don't I do that? Let me get set. So here we go, the blues. So there we go, 12-bar blues with chords. So the next part that we want to do, that you have on those sheets, is a different kind of rhythmic accompaniment to playing the blues. And this is more of a shuffle rhythm, okay? And on the tablature, you're going to have an O, rather a 0, 2, right? And you'll have those in eighth notes. And then you'll see a 0, 4. And so what that's all about is that you're going to play the open 5th string during the A5 chord, and then you're going to use the 3rd finger up here on the 4th fret. And so basically now we're in the 2nd position. We can easily grab 0 and 2 with the 1st finger and then stretch out that 3rd finger. And so what that would sound like would be a little bit like this. So, if you want to try using the blues scale over that, by all means. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think you'll enjoy it just the same. Okay, so I was talking about earlier about playing over the 12-bar blues. Now that I've looped the 12-bar blues from the previous chord progression, all right? So now I'm going to play over it. You're wondering, okay, what do I do with this scale? Okay, to start out, I'll show you what you'll probably be able to do. So here we go. 3, 4. So as you go through the next few weeks, learning the scale, learning to improvise and just make it up. You're making it up. There's nothing wrong if you stay within this scale. And, you know, just to have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in class. Take care.